Strip everything down to image, word, idea. Without narrative, it means nothing.
Henshin Inspection presents Super Sentai Sanctuary! This is MJ. I'm an author, I'm an artist, I'm an analyzer. Find all my work at mjmunoz.com. I will be discussing how intentions matter. Did Tsuyoshi mean for the artist to die? Does it matter? Is the world really a better place without him? This is Super Sentai Sanctuary, Episode 8, A Better Place. Avataro Sentai Donbrothers, Episode 8, A Thing for Long Hair, maybe. Originally aired April 24th, 2022. The writer is Toshiki Inoue, the director is Hiroyuki Kato. I will be having a creator spotlight on Hiroyuki Kato as well, so look forward to that. The negative, starting off with the negative, the translation for the title really threw me off. I was expecting the whole time for some lady with long hair to get attacked, and a lady with short hair got attacked, and the artist had long hair, and I don't understand what that means. Anyway, so, while I appreciate all the dedication and hard work that the Overtime team does, and I usually appreciate their translation choices, sometimes I just don't understand them, and this was one of those times. And unfortunately, I let it affect me because I kept thinking something was going to happen with Haruka, and it sure did not. So, anyway, but speaking of the episode being off base in how it was perceived, wait, no, that's not right. What I mean to say is the focus was oddly split between the Sonoi Taro connection and the Natsumi and Miho possibly being the same person thing, and that was kind of weird. I didn't quite understand that. And the last negative thing, the Natsumi Miho connection was unclear by the directing, but felt strong in the dialogue and writing. So it has been said by other people, and I will agree with this, that sometimes when somebody's hair changes, I cannot tell that they're the same person and have the same face because of the difference in their hair. And I think I remember Natsumi's hair being very wavy, and Miho has straight hair. So even if their hair is the same length, if one of them has straight hair and one of them has curly hair or wavy hair, I might not know the difference between those two women, or that one woman, or whatever. So anyway, that was kind of weird. That did not come across very well to me, and it wasn't until I read the synopsis actually, as I was making my show notes and such, that I realized, oh, they really are supposed to be the same person. Huh, okay, weird. Moving on to direction. Sonoi and Taro vanishing behind the ambulance was really cool. They both vanished at the same time in that mysterious, he's a hero, he's a villain, he's my baby? What? No. Anyway, that very mysterious way. Always reminds me of, in Spider-Man 3, Van... Peter turns around to look at Harry, who has just betrayed him, basically. And anyway, he goes to look at Harry, but a van passes in between them, and then Harry's on the floor. And then there's this black dude in the cafe that Harry and Peter were in together, and he kind of looks down at the floor, and I imagine that James Franco is just laying on the floor, and this dude's like looking at him like, why are you on the floor, man? And, the scene just ends, so you can't see it, but it's pretty funny. Anyway, go look at that scene. You'll see it for yourself if you've never seen that before. Anyway, I like them vanishing at the same time. Taro and Sononi being shown as equals or counterparts was really interesting. The visuals sold it very well, or perfectly rather, and I like that. It was pretty cool. I love the suit actor flopping down as Taro goes out of his own human body and into the little peach robot. It's hilarious, and it tickles me every single time he goes into the peach. It's called an alter change, which I don't quite understand why it's called that as opposed to an avatar change, other than the fact that he's altering the body he's in, but that's the only thing I can get. Anyway, so that was direction. Writing, I got a couple notes. What are the Cerebrans after again? Does Sonoi want something different from the other Cerebrans? I don't know. Is he trying to preserve humanity to secure his own world's existence? Again, I can't really tell. I got a bunch of general notes that I'm not going to share with you right now. If you want them, you can look at the show notes. I'm going to move right on into the reflection. So, how do intentions matter? Yeah. I should have changed it. How do intentions matter? Did Tsuyoshi mean for the artist guy to die? Does it matter? And is the world really a better place without him? So, I'm going to say, how do intentions matter? Gosh, I'm not sure. Let me give some examples of stuff going on in the show to point out how I believe Inoue was examining the idea of intentions mattering. So I'll go ahead and start. So, Sonoi and Taro are both rescuing people. Sonoi and Taro, I believe, are rescuing people for different reasons. I don't truly know Taro's reason for rescuing people other than he says he wants to make people happy so he can understand what happiness is. So being in close proximity to people who he's made happy, he's hoping over enough time it'll give him exposure to happiness so that he can truly understand what it is. Sonoi, on the other part, hates humans. He does not care for humans unconditionally. Humans who have been taken over by greed, he believes can destroy the world, and he wants to destroy them before they can destroy the world, which is what led me to asking the question about, is he preserving his world's existence? Because I believe cerebrans come from human minds somehow. So they're some sort of otherworldly creature that lives in like a higher plane of existence, and they come from people's intellects as opposed to their emotions, and greed is based on emotion, especially because if one were to soberly examine the situation that they are in, their logic would overrule their avarice, and their clear thinking would overrule their emotions, and they would therefore be able to act in an appropriate manner, I guess. So, anyway, do we have, Taro motivated to save people so that he can learn what happiness is? Sonoi motivated to save people so he can save himself? If they're both rescuing people and saving them from bad situations, does that matter? No. Where it starts to matter is where Sonoi doesn't care that his method of destroying the monsters, these greed monsters, these Narutiki Tauka? Wait, that's not what it is. Anyway, whatever they're called, the outrage avarice monsters, him destroying them kills the person, versus like the Donbrothers destroying them or defeating them with their mecha and their tech actually saves the person from the monster and only destroys the monster, but he doesn't care. But Taro and his crew, the Donbrothers, are saving people as opposed to killing them because that's what their technology enables them to do, not necessarily because that's what they want to do. It might not be their intention to save the people by destroying the monster, to the exclusion of destroying the person. It might just be like a consequence of what happens based on the Donbrothers gear, how it was formulated, what its function is, and stuff like that. So, they could have been destroying people and not knowing it because of the limitations of their technology, but they're saving people even if they don't have the intention of saving people. Do you get the kind of contrast there? Let's say they didn't even know you could kill people. If Sonoi wasn't around and his fellow Cerebrans, and we didn't know that people could be actually killed by defeating the monster and the person simultaneously somehow, by one means, and we only saw that there was a means to save the person by destroying the monster by using the Donbrothers tech, would that matter? I think that the contrast adds a context that makes us appreciate what the Donbrothers are able to do with their technology. And then, switching gears a little bit, Inuzaka accidentally saved, he really saved a guy. That guy who was all over the Lady Knight, Lady Cerebrin, he saved that guy's life unintentionally. He was intending to save the lady from being harassed by this dude, but instead, he probably saved that guy from being killed by that lady. So, I don't know, that's weird. Like, he's unintentionally saving a guy's life when he meant to save this woman instead, and it turns out this woman isn't a woman, she's a monster. And I don't know what to do with that, because then we have the issue at the end of the episode when Don Momotaro was powering up that really, really powerful attack to hit, I didn't remember who he was intending to strike with it, but it was somebody, but it would have saved a life. And instead, I guess Kiji brother went over there, Tsuyoshi went over there to steal the weapon from him to get the attack. Oh, see, I don't know if he intentionally made it mess up so that Sonoi would end up killing, or the Blue Knight would end up killing the guy who kidnapped Miho, or the artist guy, or was his intention to grab the weapon himself to kill the guy himself. I don't know. Something kind of weird happened with the bullet. It kind of like flew all over the place, and I think it struck somebody, but it didn't kill them, and then Sonoi made the fatal strike at the end there. How the mechanics of how it worked out were kind of weird, but Tsuyoshi's all happy at the end of the episode and feels super sinister when he's happy about the fact that that guy got killed, because he'd taken Miho. And like, I get it, it's human, I appreciate it. It's a little villainous, it's a little dastardly. He didn't fully harm, like, he could have harmed her in a way that I would feel completely justifies Tsuyoshi killing him on purpose as revenge or as justice, depending. But she wasn't as harmed as she could have been, and yet I understand Tsuyoshi's eagerness to see him punished, but was it too far? And was it an act of injustice instead of an act of justice? Is the artist's intention truly his intention, or is he being warped by the monster that caused him to do that? And does that matter? I would say yes, it matters. He was a victim, and he was killed when he shouldn't have been, because he could be saved by the Donbrothers tech, and the monster that was manipulating him to do the evil is the true actor, and is the true driver of the intention of the guy, and is truly culpable for what happened. Now, do the monster's actions warrant him being killed when he was just kidnapping somebody? I don't know. Kidnapping is, in the Bible where it says, "Thou shalt not kill." Well, it really should be, "Thou shalt not," steal. There we go. Well, kill should not be kill, it should be murder, because it is righteous and just and dignified in the Torah in many different circumstances to execute somebody with capital punishment, or to kill in self-defense, or things like that. Also, killing in war is justified as long as it's the right type of war. Although if you're in the wrong type of war, I don't know what the Torah says about that. There should be some judgment or ruling on it, but I don't know the Talmud on it, so I couldn't say anything about it right now. But in a consequence, or in a situation where a maiden is taken and violated, her attacker is justified. It's justified to execute him. But really, here's what I wanted to really say. It's another thing from the Ten Commandments. Thou shalt not steal. All of those first 5 or so commandments carry the death penalty with them. Stealing, in the rest of the Torah, you can see, does not carry the penalty of execution. Instead, stealing, the consequence for that biblically is restitution. If you steal such and such, and you destroy it or don't destroy it or whatever, you have to restore either one identical item or multiple items that will constitute the original item being replaced, plus the value added on as a deterrent, I'm sure, because if you get caught stealing, you have to not only pay back what you didn't have in the first place, but pay back even more so pay back even more. So if you stole $100 from somebody, you'd have to give them $125, I think is the amount that it would work out to. Either 120 or 125, I can't remember. But regardless, if you stole 100 because you didn't have 100, and then you had to pay 125 for that, you definitely wouldn't want to lose out on all that money, because you'd be looking at a net loss of not $25, but really $125 if you're thinking about it from that perspective. Anyway, so that's the deterrent for stealing. So in the don't steal in the Ten Commandments is actually do not kidnap, and the punishment for kidnapping is capital punishment. However, I don't know how that would apply here, because he held her for such a short amount of time, and I don't know if that matters, and she wasn't caused harm. Certainly there would be some sort of restitution he would have to pay for her in a just system, but I don't think paying with his life is justified. And what about if it was a monster that kidnapped somebody? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I can't really say. I could see it being justified for Tsuyoshi to, kill the monster that was attacking him in self-defense as he was trying to stop it from doing its evil, if it, escalated things to a point where it was going to be fatal for him and he had to destroy it to save himself, that works. And that's justifiable that, Don Momotaro has been leading everybody in killing these monsters for the past 8 episodes, but definitely, separating the human from that, I think, is an important thing to do, and I think that matters. So, anyway, I think this episode, I don't have answers for you about, how do intentions matter and what is the show saying about how intentions matter in a situation. I'm just citing different examples that there's a very nuanced approach to people doing things ignorantly and not ignorantly, in an informed way, and how, depending on how they're acting in different situations, you can see them being justified or unjustified, doing right or doing wrong, and sometimes accidentally doing one or the other based on what they know and when they knew it. So it's very interesting that we're getting that out of the show, which is, one of the sillier Super Sentai I've seen recently. So I appreciate the nuance and the thought-provoking nature of the scenarios that are being set up and explored in these episodes. So I dig it. I definitely dig it. The next episode of Donbrothers is being called Busted Taro and Robo Taro by Overtime. I'm going to give this episode a 7 out of 10. The action and suspense were good, but something felt off about the story. On the other hand, I love how dark Tsuyoshi is getting, and the questions raised about the similarities between Taro and Sonoi are interesting and engaging, and I'm wondering where they're going and what all that means. And since they seem to have similar, mystical physical abilities, are they in fact, similar beings to one another, coming from different worlds or different sides of the tracks or whatever? And, what is the mystery of, Momotaro's origin and all that stuff? I find that very interesting. All right, creator spotlight on Hiroyuki Kato, director of various Super Sentai and possible producer of Super Sentai and Kamen Rider shows, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Please do not confuse him with the 19th century legal scholar and educator born to a samurai family. Wikipedia is fun. Anyway, so Hiroyuki Kato directed his first Super Sentai late in 2007, which was a pair of Geki Ranger episodes. He worked on a total of 9 other series after that, and with his work on Donbrothers, he will have directed 11 series over the course of 16 years. He directed at least 10 episodes, or about 20% of the following series: Go Seiger, Go Kaiger, Kyoryuger, Tokyuger, Ninninger, Zhuoger, and Q Ranger 6-7. That's 7 shows. So of the 11 series that he's worked on, 7 of them he got to produce or direct about 1/5 of each of those series, which is a pretty big deal to me. I have on the show notes a list specifically of all the different seasons that he did in order, starting with Geki Ranger, ending with Q Ranger. I don't have this show on the list, and then in parentheses there's the amount of episodes he did for each one, although I will tell you right now he did 8 episodes of Go Busters plus the Go Busters versus movie, so that's interesting. I think I like his style. I mentioned the suspense earlier, and some other tension in the episode, so I think it was from good direction, good writing of course, but also good direction as well. He directed the last episode as well, which had the little teacher student battles and stuff, and those were interesting. I thought it was super cool how they used effects for super speed during the shoji match and stuff like that, but I don't remember too much notable beyond I liked the spanking. I guess that's direction. So yeah, not too much more else to say about him. Just a small creator spotlight this episode. So anyway, check out more of my stuff over on mjminus.com. You can find all of the Donbrothers stuff there, all of Super Sentai Sanctuary, and at some point soon, well, I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm focusing on writing and on developing my artwork, and mostly stuff for my stories and my big superhero universe that I want to do, which will be very influenced by Tokusatsu and the Bible and stuff. If you can't tell, I have an interest in the Bible as well, by what I was talking about earlier. But definitely Tokusatsu is a huge influence and something I really love and something I want to incorporate in my writing. So you can look forward to my writing projects over there on mjmunoz.com, and you can find my analysis of all sorts of stuff. G Gundam, I got Kamen Rider stuff over there. I got comics. I love Spider-Man, so I'm doing Spider-Man. I got to catch up on Radiant Black someday, and I'll have a bunch of comics to review on that. And you can already find a handful of Radiant Black reviews over on Swinging Through Comics, which you can find on MJ Munoz. I've got my writer, I got my author, artist, and analyzer tabs up at the top of the menu for you to check out. So anyway, with that, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. Please look forward to the next episode. I told you the score that I gave this, right? Yeah. So anyway, check out, look forward to the next episode. In the meantime, check out notes, and then check out my TikTok, which you can find linked in the show notes, where I make extra content besides the reviews, based on Donbrothers. Right now I'm doing stuff over there, and yeah, I actually have one thing planned in mind to do. I kind of do like a worst best, and then like, this got me thinking about the show. That's kind of my method. Probably this week, since time is short, I'm only going to do one, but I already kind of have it prepped, so you can look forward to that soon. Yeah, anyway, with that, I am MJ signing out, and I leave you with peace and blessings.